welcome to today's webinar. Today's topic is IBDR-Direct, Simplifying Direct-to-Cloud Disaster Recovery, or how organizations can achieve enterprise-grade disaster recovery without the complexity, cost, and maintenance associated with the traditional on-premise DR infrastructure. As ransomware attacks, hardware failures, and unexpected outages continue to increase, businesses need a reliable way to recover critical workloads quickly. However, many organizations find that building and managing a secondary DR site is expensive and resource intensive. That's where the IBDR-Direct comes in. It provides a modern direct-to-cloud disaster recovery solution that protects your virtual machines, servers, applications, and database while eliminating the need for a dedicated DR appliance. Our key message today is simple: deliver enterprise-grade disaster recovery without deploying on-site DR infrastructure. So let's look into the solution. So before I further dive into the solution, first let's understand why many organizations are rethinking their disaster recovery strategy. Traditionally, GR has required a significant investment in on-site appliance, hardware procurement, capacity planning, ongoing maintenance, and additional data center resources. While these approaches work, they often increase both cost and operational complexity. As a result, customers are facing common challenges such as a high upfront investment, limited IT resources, infrastructure complexity, and the difficulty of protecting multiple locations while maintaining a reliable DR environment. So what businesses are asking for today is much simpler. They want a solution that is easy to deploy, easy to manage, offers predictable cost, and most importantly, provides fast and reliable cloud-based recovery when an outage occurs. So that's why direct-to-cloud DR is gaining momentum. It removes the burden of managing a DR infrastructure while delivering the scalability and resilience that modern business need. The key takeaway here is that modern disaster recovery should be simple, scalable, and cloud-first. Now let's discuss why businesses are moving to a cloud-first DR strategy. Let's look into what IBDR-Direct actually is and how it works. IBDR-Direct is Infrascale's direct-to-cloud disaster recovery solution. It combines image-based backup, continuous cloud replication, cloud recovery, bare metal restore, and full disaster recovery failover into a single platform. The workflow is intentionally simple. First, a lightweight agent is installed on the protected system. The agent performs the image-based backup directly to the Infrascale cloud. Those backups are continuously replicated as a recovery-ready images, ensuring the latest recoverable state is always available. In an event of an outage, system can be recovered directly in the cloud, allowing business operations to continue with a minimal disruption. Once the cloud environment is running, organizations can perform a full disaster recovery failover and keep users productive until production systems are restored. The biggest advantage is that there is no appliance to deploy, maintain, or upgrade. This significantly reduces cost and complexity while still delivering an enterprise-grade recovery capabilities. Let's go into some real-world recovery scenarios. Under normal operations, protected Windows workloads are continuously backed up and replicated directly to the Infrascale cloud. This ensures that recovery-ready copies are always available without requiring any on-premises DR infrastructure. Now, imagine a production server suddenly fails due to a hardware issue, or a ransomware attack, or an unexpected outage, like a power failure or network connectivity issues. Instead of waiting for replacement hardware or rebuilding the system or the connectivity, administrators can immediately launch the protected workload in the cloud. Once the recovery environment is running, users simply connect and continue working with a minimal disruption. When the primary environment is ready, workloads can be restored back to production through a controlled failback process. Beyond full cloud failure, organization also have the flexibility to perform file and folder level restores, bare metal recovery, image-based recovery, or recovery from a specific point in time based on the recovery requirement. The simple takeaway is that recovery happens directly from the cloud, enabling organizations to restore operations quickly without waiting for a replacement hardware or a secondary DR site. One of the biggest advantage of IBDR-Direct is the operational efficiency it brings to a managed service provider. With traditional disaster recovery solution, MSPs often spend significant time managing hardware lifecycles, performing appliance upgrades, monitoring capacity, and maintaining local storage infrastructure. These tasks add complexity and consume valuable technical resources that could be focused elsewhere. So IBDR-Direct removes those challenges by eliminating the need of an appliance. Deployment is managed through a centralized cloud platform, making customer onboarding faster and day-to-day administrator much simpler. MSPs can reduce operational overhead, streamline support, and minimize their infrastructure footprint. The result is more scalable service model. MSPs can deploy faster, manage more customers with the same resources, reduce operational burden, and ultimately improve service profitability. The key message here is that IBDR-Direct allows MSP to deliver more, manage less, and grow faster by removing the complexity of a traditional DR infrastructure. Now let's talk about where IBDR-Direct delivers the most value and how to position it with customers. IBDR-Direct is an excellent fit for SMB organizations that need enterprise-grade disaster recovery but have a limited IT resources and budget. It's also an ideal for distributed businesses with multiple branch offices or remote locations where deploying and managing DR infrastructure at every site can be challenging. It's equally well suited for cloud-first organizations that want to modernize their DR strategy without investing in additional on-site infrastructure. A common conversation we hear is that we need a disaster recovery, but we don't want another appliance to manage. That's exactly where IBDR-Direct fits. Position it as a cloud-native DR solution that offers rapid deployment, lower management overhead, predictable operation costs, and scalable recovery platform. For MSPs, that value becomes even greater since there are no hardware limitations. Services can. So as you say, this is a centralized management dashboard. We need to download the agent. The agent is available under the download option. If you go to the download option, there is an agent called Direct Client. You'll download it, install it on the machine which you want to protect. Once the installation is complete, you need to go to the task scheduler. You'll have an Infrascale Data Protection Direct Client, right, which is installed. If you go to that properties, it'll give you an option to schedule how frequently you want to take backup of that system. There are predefined actions, conditions, which you can set where you can filter a few things, what you want to backup, and click on OK. And the backups will happen based on what schedule you have configured. So if you go to the hybrid cloud status, you go to the replication tab, you will have all the job detail which has been replicated to the cloud. So we take a full backup, and then rest of the backups are differential backups. So let's filter this. So you can also filter and see how the backups are happening. Now if you see, it's uploading the data to the cloud. Once the backups are there in a situation where you want to spin up the DR, it's simple. You need to start a DR run. Need to choose a specific model and start the DR run. Once the DR run is started, if you go to the DR run tab, you will have your machine which is running, you'll click on manage, and that will take you to the dashboard, right? So if you go to the boot tab here, you'll see your machine. If you go to the cloud tab, you'll see all the jobs which have been backed up to the cloud. If you want to perform a browse and restore, you can browse and restore the data, where you can download the data directly onto your browser. Right? If you want to perform or failover, you need to just right click on boot, select the machine, select the job, and click on next. And you'll be spinning up the server in the disaster recovery subnet. You want to increase or decrease the resources, you can do, and click on boot. And if you go to the boot tab, under the active, the system will start spinning up. Once the system is up and running, you will use a VPN agent to connect to the VPN, and the VPN keys are there under the DRN. If you go to the view details, you will have the public IP and the pre-shared VPN key. So you need to configure that on your VPN. And once the configuration is done, you should be able to access the server from your local system. So let's see if the system is turned on. Just wait for a few seconds, and that should spin up the server on the cloud. All right. In the meantime, if you say you want to browse the data, you can browse it, right? And let's say you want to access it directly through the RDP session, you can perform an RDP session where you can specify the IP address, and if you click on connect after enabling the channel, you'll be able to connect to the DR server. Let's wait for the server to come up, and we'll see how we can connect to the DR server. There you go. So we'll connect to the server. Key in the security key. And OK. Yes, and you should be able to connect to your machine. Let's say you want to perform a bare metal restore. You can go ahead and perform the bare metal restore, where you need to download the bare metal option from the settings tab. Under the download, you have the bare metal disk or an ISO. Let's say you're restoring in a VM. You can mount the ISO on the VMware SXI and run the bare metal restore. So bare metal restore is a few steps where you have to download, mount the ISO, run the Infrascale bare metal recovery solution. Once you're on that recovery solution, it'll guide you, it'll ask you to follow a few steps where you need to establish a connection to the dashboard by entering the login credentials. Okay, that's a key thing. Once that is done, you'll be able to connect to your cloud, and you should be able to find the job which you want to perform restore, select the job, perform the restore, where a disk to disk restore is done. Once a restore is completed, you will go ahead and reboot the server, and the server should be up and running. So I hope the session was very informative, and it helps you to sell IBDR-Direct to your end users, provide them the value of the solution, and how it is very easy to deploy, manage, and perform failover to the cloud, or perform bare metal restore, or browse and restore the data. So thank you so much for joining today. You have a wonderful day.